Thoughts on Ben Shapiro? Oh, God. They always break your heart, don't they? They just break your heart. They toss... just when you get to know somebody, get to like somebody... Hang on. Let's do this thing again where, the stream's going to go weird now because Richard's going to switch views and it's going to be bad. Did you see this video he did over on Prager U? Right? Twitch employees, look away now. Where was it? Is this it? I think this was it. Yeah, this is the one. This was from a few weeks ago, and I was just like, please, nah. All right, Ian. We go down together, brother. Mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction, Ian. We're all going down. All right, so I don't even think this... look, whatever. I don't even think this is a bad thing. Oh, fucking hell. Gary Parkinson. Forgot about you. Hi, Gary. Right. Just watch this nonsense, all right?
Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into your brain. Now also imagine that they're so sophisticated, they actually get you to pay them to do it. Unfortunately, you don't have to imagine it. It's real. It's Hollywood. As big as the internet has become, Hollywood, and here I'm talking specifically about television, is still king. Not only does it reach hundreds of millions of people with its messaging, it embeds that messaging in seemingly innocuous stories. Stories that distract us from the hardships of daily life, stories that make us feel good, compassionate, and decent. We watch TV, in other words, because we like it.
Right, so I'm going to do a little commentary with this one. If I do a commentary with it, right, then it's okay. It's fair use. So, I know, this is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. Ben's a smart guy. He's better than this. This is pathetic. And trust me, guys, it gets better. It totally gets better. By better, I obviously mean worse. So, what he's saying here, guys, what he's saying here is, guess what? Art, okay, has hidden messages in it. Did you know that? Did you know that when you read a novel, there might be an allegory bubbling up under the surface? Did you know when you read Orwell's 1984, it was actually an indictment of real governments that existed at the time, and it wasn't actually a sci-fi novel? Did you know that? And it's mental, isn't it? It's mind-blowing. I was shocked. I, for one, was shocked. In fact, I'm going to show you how shocked I am. I'm going to come back here. I was Edvard Munch's The Scream, mate. That's how shocked I am at this idea that in art, there's meaning beneath the surface. It's not all literal. Just think about it. How deep does this rabbit hole go? How long has that been true for? What, I've been watching TV, right? I just watched Black Mirror last night. I thought it was a documentary. I don't know what to think now. What does it all mean? Now, obviously, to even make this point that there are messages in art is so obvious. Who doesn't know this? Honestly, whatever. So, yeah, we know, guess what? Liberal-leaning people that make liberal art, liberally, will put liberal messages into their art. They'll do it about things that they, think are important to them. Messages they think they need to get out there. Trust me, dude, I watched, what was it called? The comedian, Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, right? I loved the first 2 seasons of that. That's a guilty pleasure for me. I shouldn't be watching that, but I love that shit. But then, in the 3rd season, the most recent season, or was it the 2nd season? I think it's the 3rd season, anyway. They did this storyline.
Lick my balls.
Thank you very much for the 3 months, Adams1104. I would love to meet the 1103 Adams that came before you. guess that will never happen. I think it was 13. But anyway, they fucking did this really heavy-handed storyline where the crazy old bat ran for fucking office, and it was all very Trump. And it was like, please, can I have one thing? Can I have one thing, just one, in my life where anti-Trump sentiment hasn't permeated it? I can't watch a football game on a fucking weekend anymore, and I am tired of it. We get it. Orange Hitler, blah, blah, blah. It's been over a year. Please talk about something else. Please! So, thanks for the 100 bitcoins, Sam Fish. So anyway, I had to tap out on the third series, and it always makes me sad, but I am making a choice there. It's not like I can't handle it, whatever. And I don't want the spoonful of the medicine. I just don't want to have to fucking deal with it again. Yeah, Trump bad, Trump evil, Trump racist, blah, blah, blah. Whatever nonsense you gotta fucking say to justify the fact that your pick lost an election. Have at it, dude. Just have at it. By any metric, America's less fucking racist than it ever was. If you gotta keep telling yourself these little fucking lies, you do it. That's how you live. I don't want to watch these things. So guess what I do? I don't watch them, and I go on about my fucking day. That's it. I definitely don't make a video about how it's propaganda being beamed directly into my brain. When did Ben Shapiro make a conscious choice to sound like fucking Alex Jones? It's the globalists at Hollywood. The globalists. They're just beaming liberal propaganda into your brain. The interdimensional pedophile vampires. Come on, guys. Anyway, this is Ben Shapiro.
Imagine a group of activists so powerful that they could beam their propaganda directly into toxic politics in the television they watch. But those who create that content do. They spin out hour after hour of slickly produced left-wing propaganda, and they give themselves awards for doing it. They applaud each other's courage, even though all their friends think exactly as they do. I spoke with nearly 100 members.
Yeah, these things are called echo chambers. Last time I checked, they definitely exist on both sides of the equation.
Of the Hollywood community when I wrote my book, Primetime Propaganda. And many of them openly admitted they inserted social justice messages into their shows. How they do it is both clever and effective. Hollywood writers, producers, directors, actors create characters we keep wanting to spend time with, then have those characters act in ways most of us would judge wrong.
Right, now, guys, listen. Okay, his point is, oh God, Ben, my beautiful Ben, why did you do this? His point is, okay, that they create these likable characters. We love them so much, and we want to spend time with them, right? We want to spend time with them, and we love them so much. But then they behave in ways that we might think are wrong. What possible ways could they be, Ben? Let's
in
listen.
effect, they ask us a question. Isn't it really okay that Rachel from Friends decided to have a baby without first marrying Ross?
A child out of wedlock, Ben. I don't know. That's pretty edgy, isn't it? I mean, a child out of wedlock. Well, isn't that like most people now? Like, how a child out of wedlock? Please, this isn't medieval times. I don't need to take on my father's name. Please, we must prove the blood lineage, or he cannot inherit the crown. What will we do in a time before DNA testing? It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now. And look, I think Friends is fucking garbage. I think Friends is garbage. I think it was absolute garbage. Didn't like it at the time. And, there are things that have grown on me that I didn't like at the time. I don't know. Radiohead, there's a good example. Didn't like Radiohead at the time. Didn't like every fucking 2-bit fucking asshole with a fucking acoustic guitar. Hey, I've learned Creep. Will you be my girlfriend now? Creep. I'm so sensitive. Didn't like Radiohead at the time. Learned to realize they're genius. They were fucking, it turns out they're pretty good, right? You know, lots of things. Didn't used to like broccoli. Eat broccoli now. Friends, absolute garbage. Anybody who likes it, fuck you. Fuck you forever. Yeah, I'm obviously, if you're donating and subbing and you like Friends, keep that up. What? But everyone else, fuck you. Fuck you forever. Friends is shit. And, you know, but at no point... Oh, that's so triggered. You can go on the island with the Bitcoiners. Fuck you. All right. Friends fans. Anyway, fuck Friends. I mean, come on. We're all grown up now. So, at no point, I had to watch episodes of Friends. I had girlfriends. You know how it is. You sit there, like, I gotta watch Friends at 6 p.m. together after college. Woo. Watching Friends. At no point did I ever say to myself, Rachel having a kid without getting married? That's a bit much for me. I'm out. I'm off to watch Deep Space Nine. This is too mental. You know, like, at no point did that ever fucking happen. What the fuck? Did anybody ever think that off that storyline? You just wanted them to get together. That was the whole point. This can't be real. But it's real. Anyway.
Then, in effect, they ask us a question. Isn't it really okay that Rachel from Friends decided to have a baby without first marrying Ross? After all, you like Ross and you like Rachel. How can what they do be bad?
It isn't.
It hasn't always been this way. For decades, Hollywood...
Why aren't you qualifying? Why having a child out of wedlock is bad? Ben! You're logical, Ben. Why aren't you telling me why it's bad? Why is it bad? Why does it make a difference? Why does it make a difference, Ben? Why does it make a difference, Ben? You're... Ben!
Hollywood promoted traditional American values. That changed, as did so much else in the late 1960s and 70s, when Hollywood stopped celebrating American values and started transforming them. For example, in the early 1970s, abortion was a hotly contested issue.
It was.
A year before the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court case, the top-rated TV sitcom...
Hang on. Just... He seems to have forgotten something here. What? Just one second.
When Hollywood stopped celebrating American values and started transforming them. For example, in the early 1970s, abortion was a hotly contested issue.
Not like now! Not like now, am I right? Like, everyone loves that. Ooh, brushing my teeth. What, did you hear about that abortion? Yeah, it's fine. Like, no one gives a fuck now. Yeah, it's all good. Well, you conservative fucks are still crying about abortion. And I don't know, maybe the reason, right, why people that have, as you put it, infiltrated Hollywood, maybe there's a reason why they make stories that show the human aspect of it. Because for years, we've had to listen to governments and people that pass fucking legislation say, it's murder and that. And it's not, is it? Come on, please. Oh, final point on that issue. So there has never been a moment in American history where abortion has been considered acceptable. Never. Why is it an election issue? Why is it an electoral issue? Why is it an electoral issue? I do not understand this. I do not care what my elected officials think about the ins and outs of abortion. Really, just don't be retarded about it. Don't make it illegal, and we're going to get along fine. Got some personal ideas about it? Brilliant. They should never fucking enter, into what I elected you to do. It just shouldn't matter what you think. All right, it doesn't matter. It's just an idea. So fine. Anyway, we'll get back to bed because we haven't even hit the crazy shit yet. The reason those TV shows get made is to normalize something that has never been normal in American society. Because everyone is mad fucking puritanical and overtly religious about things that really shouldn't fall under that fucking umbrella, in my opinion. All right. Oh, hang on. Definitely skipping that ad. All right,
Imagine a group of actors. A year before the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court case, the top-rated TV sitcom Maude featured a storyline in which the title character of the show has an abortion.
Wow.
The LA Times described it as a watershed moment in TV history. Why? Well,
Which, by the way, it is. And not only that, I mean, if you think about other watershed moments in history, about how, like, unacceptable behaviors and unacceptable belief systems have been challenged by the dominant media at the time. I've talked about this before. The first ever interracial kiss on television happened on Star Trek between Kirk and Uhura. That normalized, well, it was one of the things that helped normalize in the minds of people that consumed that medium, normalized interracial relationships. How the fuck would you ever have a problem with that? It blows my mind that people fucking could ever think that way. It blows my mind there's still people who do, even more so. But I think they're in a super small minority now. You know, good on it, right? Like, you know, why shouldn't the dominant media of any given moment challenge our preconceptions? Isn't that what good art does?
because it removed the stigma of abortion. Millions of Americans sitting in their living rooms saw a beloved character do something they did not approve of, and they felt sympathy. Something similar happened in the early 2000s.
Look how he says it, though. Oh, Ben, please. And they tricked you. They tricked you. They tricked you into feeling sympathy for another human being. They were so devious, weren't they? To trick you into feeling empathy. Weren't they devious? I don't know why I'm doing Skeletor's voice. I could probably do that. What the it's not evil, is it? They presented a story from a different point of view. If you feel sympathy or empathy for the character, that's on you.
Vice President Joe Biden was right when he said that Will and Grace had a major impact on how Americans think about same-sex marriage.
Really?
Before the hit NBC show, though most Americans had a live and let live attitude toward private sexual behavior, few supported the idea of men marrying men or women marrying women.
Hillary Clinton was against same-sex marriage. Just putting that
Lick my
But seeing the charming and funny Will Truman live his life week after week paved the way for a much wider acceptance of same-sex marriage. Current shows like Orange...
Because, you know, it's all over now. Like, no one cares. No one cares about same-sex marriage now. We're totally past it, aren't we? Like, gays still aren't fighting for equal rights in certain states in America. God bless you, Will and Grace. You fixed it all, Will and Grace. You fixed the problem. Oh my God, I'm not even looking at the up next. Beam me up. You know. Like, Ben, why did you do this? How much did they pay you? You can't think these things. You're intelligent. This is silly, Ben. This whole video is really silly.
Orange is the New Black and Transparent are trying to effect the same change on the issue of transgenderism. You may think these are all good things, or that some are and some aren't. That's not my point. My point is that Hollywood has had a tremendous influence on our culture, and that influence has been all to the left side of the political spectrum. And it isn't just social issues. Chevy Chase liked to boast that he helped Jimmy Carter defeat Gerald Ford in 1976. He may be right. Week after week on Saturday Night Live, Chase portrayed Ford, probably the most athletic president in American history, as a bumbling, uncoordinated idiot. In the early 2000s, Comedy Central had a show, That's My Bush, that openly mocked the 43rd president.
Right. Are we living in a world? Are we living in a world where we've got to pretend George Bush wasn't worthy of mockery? Do we have to pretend? I mean, do we have to pretend that he didn't use the word misunderestimated? You know, please, guys, please. Please. So, and here's the thing, the idea that there's nothing on the right, that you know, the right always present this. Now, I'm not saying it's not overwhelming. The entertainment industry isn't overwhelmingly in favor of the left, because of course it is. Because at any given point, it's the counterculture. You'll get a wave of reactionary right-wing media coming over the next 10 years. We've already seen it with that Tim Allen comedy, right? It was an example of one. what was that called? Last Man Standing or something, and it got cancelled. You know, we are going to see that stuff, right? So,
Of course, Hollywood despises Donald Trump.
yeah, we know
From
that.
crime dramas to the late-night comedy shows, he's relentlessly ridiculed. Somehow, Hollywood managed to take an 8-year hiatus from mocking presidents during the Obama years. But maybe that's just a coincidence. All of this programming has an effect. Scientific studies suggest that watching TV acts like a habit-forming drug. According to the market research firm Childwise, teenage boys spend 8 hours per day in front of screens.
Right. Okay. Now listen. I like how Childwise says teenage boys spend 8 hours per day in front of screens. What screens do you think they're in front of? Is it like this one? Is it more, ooh, it's a bit rectangular, isn't it? And it's on my desk and it's got a keyboard in front of it. Right? We don't watch TV anymore. I'm saying we, like I'm a teenage boy. I mean, I've got the mind of a teenage boy locked in the body of a overweight 50-year-old. But, you know, 8 hours in front of screens. Yeah, they do. They do. Of course they do. They're playing games. They're watching shit on fucking Netflix. They're watching shit on fucking YouTube. Which is why you're doing a YouTube video, by the way, Ben. Because you're just imagine this for a thing to not even fucking... Yo, the liberals are pumping out that propaganda again to those kids in front of screens. What are we going to do about it, Ben? Pump out some propaganda to reach the kids in front of screens? Guys, when are you going to wake the fuck up and see the horseshoe theory kicked in fucking big style in 2017? That you fucking idiots are as bad as each other on both fucking sides. You know, what is this shit? It's so ridiculous. You know, I just... But anyway, the kids ain't watching Will and Grace, are they? Find me a teenage boy who's ever watched an episode of Will and Grace. Find them. Now. Money. I'll pay. What do you do? Little Jimmy? 14 years old? What do you do in your spare time? Thanks for the sub, Bosnix. Appreciate it. That's a resub as well, I know. What do you do, Jimmy? In your spare time? Do you play Call of Duty? Do you play Call of Duty, maybe? You watch them YouTube videos, yeah? Got a Netflix account. What are you watching? Ooh, SpongeBob. All right. You ever watch Will and Grace? They are going to look at you. Their eyes just going to roll up in their fucking skull. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Lick my balls!
Your fucking mainstream Hollywood machine, the average age of the people consuming it is getting higher and higher and higher because fucking kids aren't watching that shit any fucking more. Jesus. It's nonsense. Television, if you wanted a propaganda fucking machine right now, you know where you're at? Social media. You know where you're at? Reddit. You know where you're at? YouTube. You ain't TV. You ain't TV. Jesus, fuck me, dude. Ben, why are you doing this?
Hours a week. Every week.
Oh, hello.
Today, discussing essential... Hands-on parents might spend 30 screens, much of it consuming Hollywood propaganda. Dedicated religious parents might expose their children to 2 hours a week of religious instruction. Hands-on parents might spend 30 minutes a day discussing essential values with their kids. Hollywood gets up to 40 hours a week, every week. By all means, enjoy television. I do. But remember, the people making TV don't...
Does Ben strike you as a guy that fucking enjoys television at all? I don't buy that, man. I think you like being on television. Cheers for the sub, Arna Cure.
merely want to entertain you. They want to influence you. They want you to think like they think. And unless you're aware of what they're trying to do, chances are you will. I'm Ben Shapiro, editor of The Daily Wire for Prager University.
It's sad, isn't it? It's just fucking sad. It's just sad to see a smart guy do that. There's propaganda. There's a message behind everything. Every piece of media you consume. What's the big reveal here? What is this? Are you pulling back the fucking curtain? No, this. We know this. Everybody knows this. It's the same for fucking. It was the same when you guys were pumping out war propaganda, right? It was the same when you guys were doing the videos where it was like, hang on a minute. Maybe I shouldn't love my neighbor. Is there a red under my bed? You know, it's just cyclical. Come on.